And we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the first talk from the quality engineering and quality assurance track. And we go to the second. Till then, I just want to tell you a few more words about Programmers Week. It's an international event and it's at the 7th edition, organized by Cognizant Softvision internally with their specialists. This year, the premiere is that we go beyond and we added a day for product. That will be next week. So till then, enjoy a lead class tech talks with our engineers and specialists that we have in Cognizant Softvision. I'm Ioana Chiorean, your host today, and let's get it rolling. Next on the agenda, we have a very serious talk about mentorship. I'm not even kidding. I wanted to make it like a joke, but I do believe that mentorship is important, especially in our field, with the need that we have to have quality person, talent already there, ready. And it's also in our duty to help those who come to board faster or to help them grow as needed. Without further ado, I want to invite on the stage Dan and Alex. We are colleagues for quite a while at Cognizant Softvision. I was just joking with Alex that I might have even opened the door for him in his first day back in 11 years ago. So I'm just gonna let them introduce this duo, do make podcasts together. So I'm definitely looking forward for the talk together. Hey, how are you doing, Alex? How are you doing, Dan?
Hey, thank you, Ioana, for the sharp intro. We're doing fine. Really looking forward to having this talk with all the guys dialing in.
Great. Let's have it roll then.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thanks again for the intro, Ioana. So yeah, I'm Dan. I'm a community lead over here at Cognizant Softvision, and alongside me is Alex, who's a technical coordinator and part of the community artificial intelligence working group. So just as a quick background story on us, so that you guys know who are going to take your next 40 minutes or so. I've been at Cognizant Softvision for a bit over 10 years now. I've started as a manual QA for an e-commerce project. Years went by, and I've grown as a team lead inside the same project. And for more than 1 year now, I'm acting as a community lead, which basically means being more close to the people inside my group, helping them reach their goals and career objectives. And working with the other community leads just to create engagement, come up with ideas, come up with initiatives that we can embed inside the community, and a bunch of other fun and exciting stuff, at least for us, that are keeping us busy. And Alex, I'll let you quickly introduce yourself.
Hey guys, so I'm Alex. As Ioana has mentioned, I've been working with Cognizant Softvision for the last 11 years. She has, I think, like 1 month advance in front of me. And yeah, I think she actually opened the door, because in the first day I didn't have the working badge, so that's for real. Other than that, as Dan mentioned, part of the QA community, I'm mostly involved in automation side. I'm a technical coordinator. I'm a consultant. I work on plenty of initiatives, projects, and so on. And I'm also part of the mentorship group, by the way. So yeah. And of course, I'm really happy to have this conversation today. One note, you have probably noticed we have forgot our slides, so we won't have any presentation today in slides, just an open talk. And yeah, let's go with it. Done?
Yeah. So what will happen today? Alex and I have prepared like an open discussion talk. Last year at Programmers Week, we had like a pretty similar event where we talked about the DNA of QA, manual QA versus automation, and what makes a solid tester, basically. The steps you need to take in order to reach your full potential as a quality engineer. And we thought for this year to keep the same format. We are targeting something that impacts that a bit, and that's mentorship, or the power of mentorship, to be more precise and use some fancy wording. So yeah, we want to keep the same format. We won't have any slides, as Alex said. We want to encourage you guys to share ideas, to use the chat to ask questions and jump into the discussion. In the end, we can all learn from one another, and who knows, maybe we can afterwards apply some of the learnings in our day-to-day routine. I think that we are also live on YouTube, so I just want to say hey to the guys watching us live streaming on YouTube. Okay, so let's dive straight into it, mentorship. And I would like to start by asking Alex, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word mentorship?
So yeah, mentorship is a really important process for evolution. You can take it from multiple perspectives. You have the perspective of the mentor, you have the perspective of the trainee, and also, let's say, in our case, the perspective of the company. From the perspective of the company, this is really easy. It's basically a really good tool for organic growth. You want your employees to be able in time to evolve in their towards their seniority, and this is the best way to grow. Juniors become mid-level, mid-level become senior, and so on. And this allows you to hire new juniors into your organization, and also keep your entire culture and let's say processes and your DNA intact while you're still able to grow. From the other part, you have, of course, mentor and trainee, two sides of the same coin. And the key word would be evolution. Another key word would be knowledge sharing, actually two words. And yeah, and it's all about three things from my side. Listen, understand, and adapt. And after that, you just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, we'll definitely go a bit more into those. As you already mentioned, you are part of the mentorship group, so we definitely want to hear some insights in how you are running an end-to-end mentorship for what means transitioning from a manual QA role down to an automation QA and the entire path that's around that story. I also have one. It's not a question, it's like a note for the audience. If there's anyone who mentored someone, or if you've been a mentee and learned from anyone, what's like the main outcome you got out of that experience? And if you would repeat it again. So I will let the question rest in here for a while until you guys get a chance to check it out. Feel free to use the chat for any input. We'll just hit like an open discussion and start debating out of that. So yeah, in addition to what Alex said, and mentorship, if you ask me, there are two main types of mentoring. So we have one-to-one mentoring, which is a type where we have one individual acting as a mentor and one acting as a mentee. And it's up to them to set up the entire learning process and get the outcomes along the way with, I don't know, recurrent sync-ups, with proper curricula in place, with feedback, with homeworks, with everything that relies on the final goal. And we can have one-to-many, where we have one or multiple mentors targeting a higher number of mentees. You can think of that as classes set up, teacher versus students, everyone fighting their doing their best to reach their full potential and targeting to accomplish basically what mentorship is going for. And yeah, I know Alex tried both of them, actually. He's now involved in a mentorship one-to-one program with a colleague of ours. I'm sharing some insights right now, who wants to transition towards an automation engineer. And I wanted to ask Alex if he can share some feedback on how that experience is and what you need to do basically as a person who is a manual QA and wants to transition towards automation, and some prerequisites on in order to make sure that you are going down the right path. So the mic is yours.
Thank you. So regarding this transition, first of all, will be making sure that you have a proper guideline for the entire process. Because when you transition to a new thing, you don't know what you don't know. So the first thing is making sure you explain what the process involves. You take care of guidance. Regarding, of course, the learning part. There will always be a component where you have to spend time on your own and get new knowledge. Of course, you will be directed to courses, to different resources for learning. I would say the first part is letting your team lead, your manager, your community manager, community lead, and so on. Basically, letting know that you want to do the transition. Don't do it as a secret. So this is the first step. After you make this public and the people involved know about it, they can help you with this part of guidance, resources, and so on. Now, regarding the one-to-one and many one-to-one, actually one-to-many mentoring types. Most of the engineers, they think that you have to pick one or the other, but most of the time these two, they go together. The one-to-many, when you have a teacher and you basically have a class, this is a really good mechanism for a nice introduction to a domain. So if you haven't studied too much on your own, this would be just like in school, a good place to start. And it's really important in this case to monitor the progress and also take into consideration that there is no expectation after this, let's say, one-to-many process, is there is no expectation regarding your end-up result. It's all about self-evolution, and you always have to compare the trainee. As a trainee, you have to compare with your own progress. So it's not a race. It's not, okay, I'm in a class, I see like 3 guys, they get it so fast. I'm not, I'm not so smart, or I'm slow and stuff like that. So it's not about this. It's just about being in a group with other colleagues that are passing through the same experience of transitioning. You're getting the same knowledge from the mentor. You can discuss, you can have groups, you can work together as in teams for projects and so on. So it's more like a building a community. But at some point, this part will end, and in that moment, you just want to be able to focus on the small details that are particular to your own development. So that's a good moment to jump in a one-to-one body training experience. Yeah, this is basically it. It's like a complementary experience between these two. Of course, if you already have started on your own and you have some good progress, you may skip the first part, like the classes, if you already have that level of knowledge. And speaking of this, another major important factor is constant monitoring of progress and evaluations. And I know like people are, okay, I'm going to be checked for my level of knowledge, and I will have some, I'll be stressed and have emotions and be scared. I have to be evaluated. They will mark me, they will check, uncheck, and say, okay, this is okay, this is not okay. So yeah.
Yeah, with this feedback, you pretty much set the stage for 2 other topics that I also had in mind. The benefits of a mentorship program and what will I get out of it. So yeah, as we're talking about experience, maybe mindset, people relationships, working with either multiple individuals or the mentor, you'll definitely gain and some experience around what soft skills means. Besides all the technical expertise, which is like the main target you want to achieve and you want to learn. We have a question, 2 questions actually. Let's go with the first one. Thank you guys for sharing those. The first one sounds like that. Hello, only a junior can have a mentor. How a mentor can help a senior? This is a great question actually. So yeah, a mentor can definitely help a senior. We just need to identify the target, the proper mentorship, and what's the outcome of where a senior would want to go further. As we all know, reaching a senior point, you have tons of experience. You've seen a bunch of contexts, maybe a bunch of projects. You touched a lot of ways of working, processes. So your package as an engineer is pretty much full or planned to get filled. But how I see this mentorship applied to a senior, I'm gonna answer with some examples. So that in my career, I've seen multiple types of mentorship. So we had like manual automation transitions, which Alex was telling you guys about. We had engineering or career switch from an administrative role to an engineering role. And I've seen success stories around that. And I'm super happy that I was able to actively contribute in seeing guys that were running as an administrative role, hard workers being able to reach their engineering point. And to answer your questions, I've seen QAs going from the QA field down into development. So I think this is where the seniorship layers comes into discussion on what mentorship needs to happen for a guy that decides maybe to switch technologies or switch tech stack fully or switch his entire career. I've seen QA from BA, QA to dev. You just need to find the right person who can mentor you and who will be able to spot on the exact areas where you need guidance. But yeah, as a senior, you can definitely become a mentor at any time of your career. And the second one would be, how many one-to-many class sessions have occurred until now? How many graduates? Do you have some career evolution examples without mentioning names, of course? Yeah, I can answer that. At least in my group, I think in the last couple of years, there were like 5 people approximately who transitioned from a manual QA role into an automation role, and now are acting as an automation engineer. Of course, with everything that a mentorship stands for, allocating a mentor, initial assessment, providing feedback, recurrent sessions of learning, final assessment to see, okay, is the person ready for becoming a junior in automation? If that, let's think of allocating a future automation role, a role where he can continue learning, because on the junior level, you will definitely have years of gathering knowledge along your journey. So yeah, we have transitions impending, and we're gonna have transitions finalizing. I think even one this month, if I'm not mistaken. We have another one. Thanks, guys, for shooting those in. How would you guide a mentee that is not sure about the path he's taking on halfway through the process? Do you want to pick that up, Alex?
Sure, I can pick this up. So I'll guide them. Okay, so for both sides, mentor and I say trainee, it's a little bit easier to say it like this. It's really important to always understand and just question yourself, where are you, if the path is okay. Maybe sometimes there is a disconnection between the mentor and the trainee. So it's the core of the process is it's about guiding. The mentor should be able to understand the trainee and help with guidance. But on the other side, also the trainee has to be able to just see where how the process is going from his side, see if it's matching his expectations, his targets, and always have an open discussion between these two parts. You always have to be direct between the communication between a mentor and a trainee. Always has to be direct, has to be straight on, honest, and yeah, that's basically it. But feeling that you're not sure if that's the right path, that's a normal feeling. And usually on this part, the mentor is the one that helps you relax with this part and be a little bit more sure of yourself. Okay.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay. Also, for the other questions, I think I have a few items to mention. So regarding mentorship for other layers than or other levels than junior, of course, mentorship will apply on all levels. So you have for the one a trainee transitioning to a junior, junior to mid-level, mid-level to senior. Actually, we have a mentorship program and then a core group at the community level. So in this case, we are doing our best to prepare resources. We have started with the trainee towards junior level transition, but we are preparing mentorship resources that will also help other mentors to join the program for junior, for mid-level, and for senior level. The best example for senior level, what I can show it, at least for automation side, would be on the architecture side, architecture of frameworks. This is, let's say, a topic mostly guided for seniors. Another thing that we do on the project that I'm currently working on is having weekly meetings. And in these meetings, we have technical discussions with the purpose of everyone to engage and evolve. Regarding the other topic, yeah, we have a bunch of questions, so I'll try to be brief. Regarding the class system, it depends on demand. If we have enough demand from the community, enough engineers raise their hand that they want to do the transition, they show interest, they can prove that, then we increase the frequency. Okay.
I think we're achieving our goal. We do have engagement for you guys, which is simply awesome. I'm going to dive straight into the next question. How can you deliver feedback to those who join a mentorship program, and after considerable time with them, you are certain that the mentorship is not for them, and the best course of action is to tell them to focus on something else that is more fitting for their skills? The simple question here is, I think, don't give up on them. Yeah. You definitely need to wrap your feedback in being a constructive one rather than destructive, because if you just shoot plain that feedback, you might impact the morale of the guy who's trying to pick up knowledge. So any feedback is welcome, because you can learn from a feedback which is healthy, delivered, and constructive. But yeah, if you simply find that there is no way for an individual to learn, I don't know, a programming language or something super technical, the easy way to do it is guidance, recommendations, self-learning, and reevaluate after a while. Next one, what is the mentor to decide what senior is suitable in a role of a mentor? What are the soft skills and formal steps required to be a mentor? Short answer, first of all, I think for a senior is the main item here is willing. The seniors need to actively step up and decide, I want to be a mentor, acknowledging the facts that mentorship can help them in more than one or two ways around technical soft skills, engagement, seeing other people's perspectives, and growing a person, and having that level of accomplishment that you actually touch someone's careers and seeing them become a strong engineer. I don't think there is a metric to decide. I think there are open discussions with the layers on top of whoever decides to go into a mentorship programs. But yeah, of course, there is an option for the lone wolf. Lone wolf is always an option, but with mentorship and guidance, everything will get more structured. More structures, more healthy, and the bounding that you get by investing time in those social relationships of what mentors build up, besides individual study, will pay off on the long run. For example, yeah, there are folks which are this fact actually who are self-learners and are having issues in expressing themselves inside larger contexts or audiences besides their comfort zone. And a one-to-one mentorship program can help either the mentor or the mentee will help overcome those barriers in time. You will have a more friendly space, a safe zone, to call it that way, where you can develop your expertise and you will gain some trust and maybe be able to reach other people's for sharing your thoughts. You will be more sharp in what social relationship means and those skills, and you can only take it to the next level from that point on. And yeah, I'm telling you, I've seen this happening. In the transition from manual to automation QA within a specific technology limited by the availability, is the transition from manual QA automation with a specific technology limited by the availability of a spot in a matching project. These type of transitions are somehow not directly impacting the project you are currently rolling in. So for example, if a QA is dedicated to a project, a manual QA, and you have as a career objective in mind that you want to transition towards automation, you can do that, but yeah, you're definitely on the driver's seat. You start learning after you get a mentor assigned to you, and you set up all that learning process, all that everything that means mentoring from zero to hero. From that point on, that's something different that you take either on your spare time or either on your, if the project allows you to invest some time in that. And from that point on, depending on how long the journey will be and when are you going to achieve a minimum level of requirements for the automation layer that you dive into start exercising your skill into a new project, that's when the discussion happen. And from that point on, it's like a win-win from that point on. And yeah, let's take one other one, and then we'll get back to our script. What happens if the mentee realizes mid-schedule that he doesn't like what he's getting mentored in? How can you be sure the mentee is motivated into a subject? Feedback. The short answer is feedback, recurring feedback. Mentorship means being in a super close sync with the mentor-mentee. And I don't know, 1 or twice per week, those one-to-one recurring sessions where you align the curricula, when you give homeworks, where you help the mentee becoming more solid on the knowledge you are trying to embed into his expertise. But feedback is super important here. Recurring feedback, how's it going? Do you need anything else? How can I help you with this? Do you see perspectives? Is there anything that I can do to make this better? Or anything around feedback. Feedback is the way to identify problems and to be able to mitigate problems in advance, because it's always better to anticipate rather than react, because you'll end up, I don't know, investing 1, 2, or maybe even more months in a non-successful mentorship program. You wouldn't want to do that. So yeah, feedback. Okay. Real life analogies. I always like to do some analogies between engineering related things and things running in our real lives. So just to give an overview and on how I see those mapped. So if anyone else has any other analogy that they want to shoot in, go ahead, feel free. Let's take training on the job program, for example. Long story short, a trainee person joins a company. We have a solid plan in place, and I've seen this happening from a trainee person, from a person who has basic knowledge, who maybe read the syllabus of the ISTQB exam, or super basic testing knowledge, from a trainee with a solid curricula and the mentorship program, a trainer, a buddy, or call it that way, ended up in becoming a top-notch engineer at this point with a solid career in front of him. So, and a bunch of exciting perspectives and opportunities, of course. It's just about crossing that bridge that can take you further from that point on. You teach someone to ride a bike, that's mentorship at some scale. Of course, if you go deeper into it and you teach that person to do bike wheelies, that's taking it to the next level. You teach someone on the benefits of doing proper recycling. That's also mentorship. Besides the basic knowledge, if you come up with ideas. For example, a friend of mine, and this is actually a true story, built an in-house solution for healthy recycling because the main service didn't provide that for him. And yeah, he mentored me in how to do that. I'm still on the learning process here. I just need to rearrange some furniture around the house, but I definitely see perspective. It all starts from planning. It all starts from maybe readjusting your plans along the way, but you have an outcome that you want to achieve. You have some knowledge of doing this, and you can pass this knowledge to other folks. And the last one, and I really like this one, is okay, you're going on a holiday. You prepare your full itinerary with all the lessons learned. And yeah, that's the fun part of planning it. It completely charges you with positive thoughts. And you come back from your holiday and your closest friend asks you, okay, dude, how was it? I plan to go there. What do you recommend for me? And that's when the mentorship starts, basically. From zero to hero, you pass on knowledge. You get lessons learned, tips and tricks. What to do, what not to do, what to visit, how to save money and time, how to reach your destinations faster. So yeah, that is top-notch mentorship, if you ask me, done well. It's on a totally different scale, of course, but it's knowledge transfer in the end. And with that in mind, your friend is going to have an awesome experience in his vacation, that's for sure. I benefit out of that, and I did it actively with some friends of mine as well. got some good feedback, and so I had the feeling of accomplishment. And examples can go further and further. It doesn't need to be technically, but since we're programmers, we will insist more on that. But as the example showed us, we can run mentorship in our day-to-day lives as something that comes natural. And all of those experiences will be embedded in the end in a full stack of soft skills that you will pick up by default, and will definitely help you, I don't know, in your career with every field that you need to be part of. So yeah, real life analogies. I love those. Alex, do you want to go deeper into the questions? I see one more.
Yeah, I think I can do this. First of all, let me set up a little bit. So about that, let's say feedback for a trainee saying that probably this is not for him or her, the process and of course the end result. Actually, this happens a lot because too many engineers they start to transition without understanding what's the destination, and they say, okay, I think automation is full, so I want to do that. But they start the transition before really understanding what automation is. And at least this is the, let's say the one-to-many system is really good at filtering out the ones that they don't want to commit to this direction. So I have encountered situations when people have dropped off the one-to-many system and they actually thank me because now they know that they will never ever want to follow up this direction. So they were successful, but it's something that they don't want to do it. But for the cases where they want, it's not, in this case, at least for this type of transition, it's not related with abilities that are you're born with. It's not about your voice and stuff like that. So it's, I think it's related with things that can be learned. For some learning it's easier, for some learning is harder. And usually I place the discussion in the point where, okay, it seems that it's a little bit hard for you. Probably you have some personal issues as well. You are not able to spend time in your personal life learning about this and stuff like that. But it's always about the discussion towards this is the effort that you have to spend. Now, you may not be able to spend this effort in a reasonable amount of time. And that would mean that the transition may take like 3 or 4 years and stuff like that. You won't be able to commit to this maybe. So it's not like, okay, you won't be able to do this. It's more like you can do this in current conditions. If you want to change something, you can be successful, but in this way, you cannot do it. Okay, I see the questions piling up. I'm losing track of them. Okay, regarding metrics, when you feel as a senior that you can handle mentorship, I think this is more like a natural process. As part being a senior, a big part is knowledge sharing. And as you guide yourself towards more and more knowledge sharing, towards your colleagues first, from team, towards other projects in time, and so on, you end up realizing, okay, I can be a mentor. And that's the moment where you can ask for more guidance about how to be a mentor. So you can do that as well. Okay.
I see one. I see the last one is actually super cute. I believe impatience is a blocker for anyone who wants to become a mentor. Would you agree? Totally. Yeah, this is actually that we omitted patience. This is a key skill set that you need to have in becoming a mentor, because you will end up in all kinds of situations. You will end up in, I don't know, roadblocks that you need to unblock or loose ends that you need to revamp. So yeah, be patient. You won't get successful during the first, I don't know, 1-2 sessions, but eventually things are going to start to compile into something that's taking the mentee into your desired direction of learning and gathering knowledge.
Yeah, I agree. And also about, so as I mentioned, from my perspective, the key points are listening, understanding, and adapting. For all of these three, you need patience, of course. So plenty of patience. How would you balance mentorship training activities for capacity staff projects? Do you think it's a good idea to power through with these objectives, even if it affects deliverables? So first of all, it's really important to make sure on your assigned project that, well, of course, when you're available, that the workload it's not overwhelming. So this is the first part that you have to handle it. Up next, what I usually try to do on the projects where I operate is to have an open discussion with our management, with the client management regarding personal development of the engineers. Because what I try to achieve is to make sure that a part of the project time, or sorry, let's say a working time, can be dedicated towards personal development. This would mean courses, mentorship programs, and so on. And even if, let's say, for 3 months, there is a huge push on the project and you have to be there like nonstop, I push it for this period to be like an exception, and in general to be time for personal development. If an engineer will continue to improve his skills and to develop, this is a benefit for both the company and the client that's benefiting from the support of that colleague.
Alex, I also have a question for you directly at this point. As a tech coordinator or tech expert, do you ever reach a point where mentorship doesn't sound like a good idea anymore? How can you embed mentorship in your day-to-day activities? Because I know you have a bunch.
Yeah, so it depends on what are the priorities. For me, as a technical coordinator, of course, I'm mostly focused on technical guidance for all the areas where I operate. Sometimes I feel that I have to stop the mentorship process a little bit. I pause it like, okay, sorry guys, this week I'll be a little bit off. I have to focus on other sides. I also understand when the trainees have to pause mentorship for other priorities. But what is the most important part, so you don't feel overwhelmed and you can feel that you're able to act as a mentor. It's about organizing yourself, organizing your time, understanding what are the priorities and what level of engagement is required for any of your items that you have to accomplish. It's really important to have open discussions with everyone involved, with management, with teammates, with team leads, and so on, regarding what you're doing, what are the expectations, what are your priorities, to understand what are the project priorities, and so on, and always make sure that these are in sync. So it's more like a balancing act. But there are moments when you feel that, okay, I can, for instance, when I act as a consultant for a group, there are moments when I feel that I can step back. I can do a step back because with the guidance that they already have, they're able to take care on their own to advance. And I only do checkups from time to time rather than being there hands-on.
Yeah, I bet it's a nice level of accomplishment when you reach that point that guys are able to solve problems on their own.
Most sorry.
Go.
Just a fun thing. So the most interesting sensation I had. So when I was an early mentor, I had the trainee. Well, that trainee became a mentor in time, and the trainee of the trainee is now a mentor. So it's like mentor, change mentorship. So that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah. Listening to your feedback, what crossed my mind, and circling a bit back to that layer of seniorship and the idea of getting out of comfort zone, maybe for everyone, not only seniors. There are definitely folks who are oriented in, okay, I'm going to a job, I'll do my tasks and I'll leave, and that's it. And that's totally fine. But the question is, why not sharing the huge stack of expertise that you have with someone who is willing to grow and has a great vibe about it, and is definitely in the driver's seat, as I mentioned earlier. and constantly pushes the pedal to the metal. So there is no way you won't get any fulfillment feelings when you're gonna see that person that you mentored reaching a point where he's self-sustained, as you said earlier, and he's able to solve problems by his own. He's able to be productive. He's able to take ownership on things. Absolutely no way you won't feel any fulfillment feelings that you were a huge part of that guy becoming what he is at this point. And the knowledge base, he got it from you as a mentor, and starts building his career further. So, but again, perfectly fine if you run the way you are comfortable with. But yeah, take a quick think of what mentorship can do in advance.
And also for seniors, knowledge sharing can be also a selfish process. I know it's counterintuitive, but at least this is the way it started for me. So I realized that I was able to, let's say, perform complex tasks and build architectures and so on. But because I was not sharing this information, these gains, it was basically forgotten and it was not used. But because I was starting to knowledge share my work, I would see other engineers picking up on my work and continue to evolve and give it another life. So cool.
Yeah, regarding that, what are some specific mindset that a technical mentor needs to have, in your opinion, Alex? 2 minutes answer. We're getting
sorry, I lost you for a second.
What are the specific mindset that a technical mentor needs to have? Some specific mindset, if you can give 1 or 2 examples.
Okay, so the mindset is always about evolution. This is the main goal. You want to see evolution. There are some amateurs on this part. So first of all, I would say the best lesson is the one, or the cheapest lesson is the one from other people's experience. So if someone makes a mistake around you, it's way cheaper than doing that mistake on your own. So learning from that's awesome. But the core part of mentorship is usually its evolution. And the thing that I hate most is untapped potential. So I think this is the main reason why I became a mentor without realizing. I just hate seeing potential around me, which is not fulfilled. Of course, that person has to want to reach that level and achieve full potential, but I get satisfaction in helping with this part.
Oh, this is so good. This last statement is so good. I'm gonna use it.
And I also have a question for you. Yeah, and by the way, Dan has no idea about this, and of course I had no idea about his questions. That's the whole point of the discussion. So my question would be, have you ever felt you were failing as a mentor?
Failing or fading?
Failing.
I'm going to try to answer in under a minute. I think this goes hand in hand with the answer we gave on the patience question. Not necessarily failing, but I sometimes got into an idea that we're reaching dead ends. Maybe I had higher expectations, or maybe I don't know. I wanted to go much more faster than the regular program usually takes. So it's all about being patient. It's all about setting the right expectations. To shortly answer, no, I didn't have the idea of failing into a mentorship program, because up until this point, I've seen only success stories in what a mentorship program means in the things that I've directly been involved in. So yeah, but there are definitely some key points that you need to just list down on your agenda. I need to do this, I need to do that. And from that point on, everything will get more structured in your head, and you won't end up being reaching dead ends or loose ends. And yeah, just my 2 cents on everything is do it, mentor someone, or raise your hand and say, I want to get mentored. This goes for experienced engineers. Get involved in being mentors. Try that as an experience. If it's something that you're completely not resonating with, drop it. There's absolutely no problem. And get back to your lone wolf way of running things. No one will judge you, as you can imagine. But if you want to maybe find new challenges or maybe do a memory refresh on your basic knowledge, on the basic tech luggage you have with you, on your tech expertise, it's something that it will bring those skills up to life, and this is a true fact. I think we're getting close to the 45-minute slot that we had allocated. I just want to say a huge thanks to all the guys that posted in questions, to all the guys that were part of our talk. It was a pleasure seeing so many questions from you guys. Hopefully we were able to reply to all of those. If not, feel free to ping us in social or any other communication channel. We'd be more than happy to get on a sync with you. And yeah, it's a wrap. There are more Programmers this week talks coming your way. A lot of catchy and exciting topics on the agenda. So feel free to check them on our main site. This was us, Dan and Alex. Big thanks again, and see you on the next one.
Amazing. I just joined now again, and I was captivated by the talk, by the way, and I'm not even sure who was the very brightest ideas. I was trying, honestly, by the way, I'm taking over Twitter, so I was trying to keep up with you and write their ideas. We have also people commenting over there what they think about mentorship. I will start a poll over there. If people think coaches, trainers, mentors are all the same, are they different? So be sure to check our profile there and the poll. But now, literally, I want to remind you that we have some emojis. I hope it's in the corner. I'm not sure which one, because technology, you know. But let's see. Let's thumbs up if you like the Dan's ideas about mentorship, and give some applause if you thought Alex was more theoretically and also tech inspired with his answers. I'm not taking sides. I like both of them. Literally their insights from their own experience. I think that was the most important thing. They spoke from their experience, both having so many trainings done in the company or mentor programs, and I have they have good results. Their people are happy. They transitions, and some of them they become trainers or mentors for the next generation, which is, I think, the ultimate goal of the program. Train the trainer, right? Was the saying. So don't forget, give some likes for Dan and some applause for Alex. And thank you, guys. We continue the track today with a few more talks. See you in about 10 minutes in the same place.